John F. Kennedy High School graduate Jerred Pastones is making waves with his new clothing line, The Native.
I launched The Native officially at least last year, June 19. But all the inspiration behind that was, I've always kind of been into clothes at least, not necessarily streetwear, but I made a couple trips to California that year, and my cousin Jim took me around and took me to all the stores like Black Scale, Undefeated, things like that, and just to tell me all the stories. And at that point I really just got into it, and then I guess I was just like one of those kids, I didn't really have a job, so like it's kind of embarrassing to say, but to be honest, I would like window shop online. I would put things in my cart, I would check out, and then at that point where it's like you gotta pay for it, I was like, oh, I don't got the money, and close the window. And then it was just like one of those nights, and I just thought, what if I made my own clothes,
The 18-year-old from Jigo says the idea for his street apparel brand seemed so far-fetched at the time, but soon with how everything was playing out, the timing finally seemed right for him to launch the line.
I just messed around with some graphics. I put something on Facebook, and like the response was like really good, and people just are already like, oh, I want hats, shirts, things like that, and I'm like, oh, I just put a picture, I don't even have anything. So I made stickers. I launched those in December, and in 2 days I would say I sold out in pre-orders, and then the following week I collected everything, and then at that point it went into the production of shirts.
Pastones notes he wanted it to be much more than just taking an image and printing it on a shirt. No, he paid attention to every detail, right down to tags and using blank t-shirts for printing, ensuring best quality for customers.
Maybe a lot of people might think that, how hard is it to get a shirt, get it printed, and put it out, because, sometimes dates get pushed back, and, try not to disappoint, but I get all my products, I get products flown in from like China, California to Hawaii just to get here, things like that. So, the process is very long, but it's interesting, and I enjoy it. Personally, I think streetwear is not necessarily mass producing things. It's more of a limited quantity, and it kind of I think that's what keeps a lot of things interesting, maybe with shoes and, things like that on Guam that are hard to get.
As for the name The Native, he says it goes back to that fateful night when all the brainstorming and ideas began flowing.
I wanted my name not to necessarily just be something cool or something that everyone would like, oh, that's, nobody thought of that or whatever. I wanted my name, my brand name, to represent kind of everybody, be something for everybody to wear. The Native, I'm part Native American Indian, and I was always kind of like fascinated by my, the culture, just reading it, and just all those stories and things like that. I thought it was always cool. And then, I just did a lot of thinking, and then I came to the point where it was like, cool, I'm Native American Indian, so that's like check for the Native. And then the other half was like, no matter where you're from around the world, everybody's a Native. Whether you're from Guam, California, New York, or anything like that, it's always said, oh, a native of this place and that. So I always thought that if I could interpret different cultures into my brand at some point, I thought it'd be interesting.
And Pastones is doing his homework, reading up on what is trending and what appeals to the potential customers. After all, it's a business.
I'm pretty active on reading it's a website called Hypebeast, where basically there's a lot of news on streetwear fashion, luxury fashion, things like that. So you pick up interests, and that's just how it follows, at least for me.
He even put together lookbooks with the help of some friends, and the hard work is apparently paying off, as the response just off of Facebook has been overwhelming.
When I first launched my lookbook, I featured my friend Mark Delana, Esgal, and Caleb the King in my lookbook, and the response was like crazy. Like literally, I posted it probably like 9 o'clock, and I was up until like 12 messaging everybody back, because my inbox on Facebook was just flooded. So, the response was really good.
He recently launched part 1 of his second line, which is already attracting customers.
I just launched part 1 of my second line, Inyota Collectia. It's a Latin-inspired line, maybe about 3 weeks ago, or a month ago. So that one is great as well, but I'm working on part 2 now.
As for what the future has in store for Pastones,
Working right now on a website that I'll be launching for sure early next month, and of course you need stock for a website, and being that I've sold out on the first shirt, I would have to reprint a little bit more. But in addition to that, I might be doing an online exclusive, which would be the Bad Beginnings tee in a navy blue and a heather gray. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think it's gonna come out really good. I do want to open up a store one day, and it's always kind of been a dream. At least walking into this kind of business, I do want to open up a store one day, and always trying to stay on calendar with releases and just come up with good products, for people to enjoy.
he plans to head to California sometime early next year and visit the LA Fashion District to learn about cut and sew. And he encourages those who have aspirations of starting a clothing line to do so.
Honestly, I just give props to any kid who takes an idea and runs with it and blows it up like what I'm trying to do. It was just something I thought of in my bed, and now I'm here sitting down on camera. It's like things are just developing very well for me. So
For more information on the clothing line, or if you wish to contact Pastones, you can find him on Facebook at www.facebook.com/thenativeFilthyFew.